service that's twice the value for money that our competitor does.
When I was out at SpaceX about a year ago, I noticed that you were also developing a recyclable rocket, a rocket that actually come back to Earth.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate recyclable. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, this is the fundamental breakthrough that's needed in space transport to fundamentally transform it. Because I think what we've done thus far at SpaceX is evolutionary, but not revolutionary. We've made a rocket that, in an expendable scenario, it's better than anything else out there. By maybe 20, like the next best rocket would be like 20 to 30% worse in efficiency. So, but that's definitely an evolutionary thing. It's not going to revolutionize spaceflight. To really have a revolutionary impact, we've got to achieve at least an order of magnitude improvement, maybe a 2 order of magnitude improvement. And the only way to achieve that is with full and rapid reusability. And this is a very difficult thing to achieve. In fact, a lot of people in the aerospace industry think it's not possible. And in fact, most have given up on it. But I think it is possible. And we recently achieved an important milestone, which was to get the boost stage of the rocket to re-enter the atmosphere intact, deploy landing legs, and achieve a soft landing out in the ocean. So we're first doing this in the ocean to make sure we can land accurately, and then hopefully later this year we will transition to landing back on land at Cape Canaveral. And then we'll aim to refly that boost stage probably next year, if this year works out, and that will really be a massive change in space transport. To give it sort of a sense of the potential there, the cost of the fuel and oxygen and other sort of expendable liquids in the rocket, the cost to effectively fuel it up, is only 0.3% of the cost of the mission. So the rocket costs $60 million. It only costs a couple $100,000 to fill it up. So the potential is there with a high launch rate, if one can achieve full and rapid reusability, to improve the cost of space access by a factor of more than 100.
Wow. Any advice? What could we as citizens do? What could the U.S. government do to make this a better place to support business, make America even a better place to start a business? You came from South Africa. What else could we be doing to improve that from your point of view?
Well, I think the United States is pretty great, honestly. Definitely the best place in the world to start a business, and particularly if it involves technology. I think certainly we need to take a look at our immigration laws. If there are really talented people doing graduate courses in engineering at our universities, we really don't want to send them home. We want to try to do everything we can to keep them here. Because if for every one person who's like an ace engineer, that there are probably like 10 jobs that will be created if that person stays here. It's a huge multiplier effect. And conversely, if you're missing that special ingredient, it's very difficult to create them. I think also we probably need to reform our tax laws, because the U.S. corporate tax rate is really high relative to, say, the EU. And what this causes companies to do, like Apple or Google or others, SpaceX is a purely domestic company, so.
And we're happy about that.
Yeah. So we don't have the ability to play, sort of some sort of tax shell game, and we wouldn't. But anyway, but it is tricky. Like if you're head of a multinational and you've got all these shareholders who are expecting you to maximize profits, and you can play this sort of like international tax shell game, and you sort of there's a strong incentive to do so because of the